If you can't trust Gavin with his best friend's wife, how can you trust him with your state?
These incompetent, criminal, crook, fraudulent Democrats are turning California red.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree?
where did that even
No
come?
more Latinx,
like,
everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about? I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. The Latinx and Black communities. You've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even serious.
Well, I think the thing that was really surprising to me is that I tried to articulate in a non-aggressive way exactly why our company wasn't going to reinvest capital in California. And what I found out this afternoon is
running everybody out of California, running the businesses out of California, running everybody out of California.
that Governor Newsom has enough time to respond to a tweet as opposed to a private DM or having somebody reach out to remind everybody in America that in 2023, before we bought the intellectual property, that the company went out of business. We all know that Bed Bath went out of business a few years ago. Now we're trying to make a comeback. And I would think that a governor would want to attract investment, attract capital into the state. In fact, he did the opposite. He rejected it. It's a very simple model for me. As a capitalist myself, I want to do business in all 50 states, and I want to do business with all people of all political parties. That's part of being a capitalist. But what I don't want to do is put my shareholders, my employees, and myself in a situation where we're regulated to a zero. And we don't want to spend $100 million coming into California and then find out that the state's going to take it all and waste it all.
Okay, it is official. California is having a special election on November 4th for Prop 50. Basically, long story short, in 2008 and 2010, the California voters voted for having an independent commission to redraw the maps instead of having the politicians redraw the maps. What Prop 50 does is it would take away that reform and give it back to the politicians. That goes exactly against what Californians have voted for. Now, Gavin Newsom is like, well, we're going to do this because states like Texas, who has never had that reform, they never voted on it. It's always been the politicians who have the power to redistrict Texas. So it's not like they've taken away something that Texans had voted against. So Gavin Newsom's basically making this point, states like Texas, blah, blah, blah. The real issue is the fact that Gavin Newsom knows that he's losing so many supporters. Gavin Newsom's so focused on his 2028 election. He wants to make sure that California is still going to be run by Democrats, and he's trying to do everything in his power to make sure that that happens. But here's the thing. As Californians, we know that under Democratic rule, it hasn't been working out. Again, I grew up in LA. I ran into so many of my friends recently who all said the same thing. We've all grown up there. We don't want to be here anymore. This is awful. We want to move to a different state. We want to move to a red state. The crime, everything is really bad. So Gavin Newsom right now is having a freak out because, let's be honest, a lot of his voters are getting deported and he doesn't really know what to do anymore. So this is his way of saying, let's take the power away from the people, bring it back to the politicians so we can continue to stay in power and drive California to the ground. So November 4th, very, very big deal. If you want to keep things the way that they are, and by that I mean keep the power of the maps and the redistricting in the hands of the people and not the hands of the politicians, making sure that it's actually fair instead of what Gavin Newsom thinks is fair, then vote no on Prop 50 November 4th. That's what you need to do.
We have a Los Angeles Police Department. We do not need the Custom and Border Patrol coming through, lined up in military fashion and doing absolutely nothing.
Because y'all walk Ain't Your Mama out. Man, that heifer made me sneeze. I tell you, that heifer there. Oh man, that heifer give me allergies. Y'all walk this heifer out, please.
After their performance, they left. But I think the whole thing has been a threat. It's been a threat since June 6th. It's been a threat that the federal government, can go wherever they want, using whatever tactics, don't even have to identify themselves, can jump out of cars and snatch people off the street. Originally, this was supposed to have been very targeted. It's not now. And so that's why from the beginning, I have said that I think this is an experiment.
Y'all walk this heifer out. She got me over here sneezing. My allergies is bad. Ever since she started speaking. They snatching people up. All this gaslighting, the fear-mongering line. Y'all walk ain't your mama out.
Man, I think LA is a petri dish, and they are essentially pressing the envelope to see how far the American public will tolerate the federal seizure of power from a governor.
Karen Bass does it again. That's right, guys. The non-violent, mostly peaceful protesting. Yeah, well, Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, between her dumb leadership and Gavin Newsom not deploying National Guard soon enough, she has come out and declared that I'm calling on business leaders, community leaders, and faith leaders to come together downtown in the next few days and talk about how we're going to clean up the city. This is so extensive, it's going to take community involvement.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
because, you guys just allowed those people to go into the street and create havoc, damage up federal buildings, burn down cars, vandalize random buildings and businesses.
Hey, and then guess what they say? Guess what the Democrats say? Guess what that heifer comes out and says, and greasy scum Gavin, all that hair grease. It's peaceful. It's all peaceful. It's a peaceful protest. There's no wrongdoing. That's what Democrats say. I tell you.
Allowed looting to happen. And then when National Guard had to be called out by our president, you decided to take funds to sue our president and end up losing in court because they sided with President Trump and the evidence proving that they were not mostly peaceful protesting. And now you're going to call upon the citizens, business owners, to come together to clean up the mess that is causing damage to their business. Most likely is going to cost them monies that they probably don't have. And you are making it their responsibility to clean up the mess that you created. Just more signs that we need to get these Democrats out of office.
What Governor Newsom's power grab is trying to do is what they just did last night. No public input, no transparency, no light of day. Still, no one can answer who drew those maps.
I tell you, Tony, just get it right, Tony. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you, Tony. Tony got his grease down just like Gavin, but his look better. His is better. Gavin Newsom's grease down and all that hair grease is a disgrace. You look good though, Tony. You look good, brother. You look good. I'm glad you got it greased back like that. Yours looks way better than Gavin Newsom's. This is good.
Did the legislators have influence on those maps? As reported by some outlets, some of the members in the Senate and the Assembly adjusted those maps, which I will remind you, and I asked the press to follow up on our colleagues. What did they know and when did they know it? Because currently under the state constitution, none of those members are allowed under the state constitution to have any influence on those maps. There'll be a violation of the state constitution. Because currently, if they did it right, they would have public hearings, public notice, they would get the authority from the people of California, and then they would draw the...
Folks, there are a few things in this life that I genuinely hate. And I know hate is a strong word, genuinely hate than a race hustler. These people are the very reason why the issue of racism still exists in the first place.
Yep.
They use it as a means to get attention, sympathy, and of course to line their pockets. Now, I have been counting down the literal seconds until the race hustlers were going to come out the woodworks and start to blame the backlash that Karen Bass is facing on racism, and I have not been disappointed. We have articles that have already launched off into the atmosphere claiming how if this had not been a black woman, there would have been no sort of finger pointing. This would not have been politicized, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? This guy right here, this Democrat right here, Gavin Newsom, yeah, we're pointing fingers at him and you. So what's your excuse here? That's about as white as a man as a man can be right there. That's whitey white. That is Utah white.
California is turning red.
Oh boy.
Holy crap. This is crazy.
Man, this is huge.
This is
like,
they said last week was 10,000 people. How?
It gotta feel like 15,000, man.
Yeah.
It's not even over yet. Wait until the March starts.
Wow. It's crazy.
These conservative patriots gathering together to fight against Gavin Newsom's redistricting.
God bless them patriots down there in California. God bless them patriots. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, baby.
Redistricting of California. I can confirm up here in Northern California, where I'm from, there's a lot more conservatives than you would think. We're seeing this across the state in really liberal areas in Southern California like LA and all over the place. There just might be some hope left for California. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to follow for more, and God bless.
Yeah, Lord.